Hey there, piano teaching friends. I thought I would pop on here and talk about Christmas music or holiday music in general because it's November and I just got out all of my files of Christmas and holiday music so I can talk with my students about what they'd like to play this holiday season. If we haven't met before, my name is Jana Williamson and welcome to my home piano studio in the suburbs of Chicago. Now, this is all information that I have in a blog post from a couple of years ago, so I will be sure to link that there. And if you're looking for links to some of the books that I recommend, those will all be in that post, so please do check that out. There are a lot of different ways that we can teach holiday music or Christmas music to our students, and actually all of these things apply to popular music or recognizable music for our students in general. Currently in my studio, every student celebrates Christmas at least on a secular level. That may not be true in your studio, but all of the principles I'm going to talk about today should apply to all sorts of pop music or anything that your students already recognize. So let's talk about how you could teach holiday music based on what your goal is for your students over the months of November and December. If your goal is to have a formal holiday recital of mostly piano solo arrangements, then you're going to want to purchase excellent, creative, beautifully done arrangements for your students of sacred and secular carols, things that your students recognize. And frankly, at the time that this video is publishing, you're probably a little bit too late for giving those things to your students if you're going to have a recital in early to mid-December. I'm guessing that those of you who hold a recital have already given your students their music and they're going to be ready to go in time. Now, I abandoned doing holiday recitals years and years ago because for my area and my clientele, it is not feasible for me to ask students to be part of a recital in the month of December. It just does not work. So if that's not your goal, then maybe your goal is to encourage students to share their music with family members during the holiday season and even play music with family members during that time. So if that's the case, then you're going to want to have a lot of piano duet collections of holiday tunes on hand. And this is one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I have siblings in the studio, I like to make sure they have at least one holiday duet that they can play together. But it doesn't just have to be sisters and brothers. You can have a student play with his or her grandmother or mom or dad. Parents, aunts and uncles, grandparents are all great for this kind of thing. And I've had many families who've had some sort of tradition of playing together over the holidays. They can then play for their family members at some sort of holiday gathering. And I do have several links to duet collections in that blog post. So again, go ahead and click that. Now I just want to make one quick comment about this. When assigning duets, particularly holiday duets to students, I make sure to assign them at a level or two levels below the student's current playing ability. I want this to be something fun that they can easily learn, not something that is going to stretch them and feel difficult in the moment. If you're like me, then your goal is actually this third goal, which is a quick win and something that a student can easily learn of something recognizable. So there are multiple ways that we can do this so that our students can scratch the itch of playing something they know. I would say that all American children that I know in my context know at least Jingle Bells. That's kind of a household tune. And there are some other holiday tunes that many students know. So you can use basic arrangements that are done by piano pedagogues. My favorite version of this is the Chord Time Christmas, done by the Fabers. They have a bigger series, of course, that is pre-time to big time. But I particularly love using this book for students who have learned their basic scales and chords in C, F, and G majors and just want to play a basic arrangement that reinforces all that chord work they've been doing with a melody that they already know. There are many other great method series connected arrangements that you can check out that will just use your students' skills that they've recently worked on and reinforce those skills, again, with a tune that they recognize. Secondly, I would recommend using lead sheets. You can simply teach students a basic tune that they know by ear or by rote or by just using a lead sheet. For beginning students, this might just be as simple as playing the melody to Jingle Bells with no accompaniment, or you can make up a duet accompaniment for them. They don't need a printed piece of music to play Jingle Bells. That chorus has a very easy tune that they can learn by rote or by ear. For beginning students who have some hands together coordination already going, using a lead sheet can be as simple as just playing the root of the chord. So again, to just use the Jingle Bells example, your students can just play with their left hand the tonic or dominant note to harmonize the melody that they play in their right hand. Then moving up from there, as soon as you get to late elementary students who do know their primary chords in a variety of keys, you can begin to break into playing real lead sheets using those primary chords and then expand from there. If this is a new idea for you, I would love to direct you to two other videos I have, one featuring Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and one featuring Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I talk in there about the basics of how I would teach those tunes off of a lead sheet, and then going much further all the way up to a late intermediate arrangement of accompaniment styles in the left hand while you play the melody in the right hand. And using something like this allows students to not only use their functional skills and integrate their theory, which is a huge win for me, but also be creative and make their own arrangement that they think sounds good. We can talk about which left-hand accompanimental style suits which tune the best, and they can have input on what would be the best accompaniment for that particular song. So I hope that gives you a few ideas on teaching holiday music in your piano studio. As I said, check out the blog post linked below because that has a lot of other links to books and resources, as well as the videos featuring those two popular tunes. Let me know if you have great ideas or favorite arrangements that you love teaching or ways to teach holiday music, and I wish you all the best in your teaching and playing.